What's up, big ass niggas? This your boy J Miles, and now I'm back with another video. You know what to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking. But most importantly, make sure you share with your big ass friends. On today's video, we will be covering Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, and this one right here is titled Unique is Not Breeze Confirmed. That is right. You heard me right, ugly ass niggas. I repeat, unique is not breeze, people. And I pretty much have 100% confirmation. Now, once I go through the entirety of this video, I don't know, I may or may not be able to convince some of you ugly ass niggas, but I get it. Some of y'all so hell bent over unique being him that you refuse to believe it until you see it. I understand it, but take it from me, ugly ass niggas. Unique is not Breeze. He's another red herring, and more than likely, he will be taken out at the end of the finale. So, I'm just here to let y'all know, spoiler alert, Unique is not Breeze, people. But I'm gonna go through this video to kind of give y'all a little bit more insight, and you can go ahead and judge it for yourself on whether you want to believe it or not. But that's on you. But I know in my heart of hearts, it's not him. But anyways, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into this. So we gonna start this thing out with what we left off in episode 8. So as we know, at the end, episode 9, sorry. At the end of episode 9, we saw both Rock and Lou pay Unique a visit. Now, what was said all the way, we don't really know. And I'm pretty sure they're going to tell us in this next episode. But the point of being of me speaking of this is they're going to make it, they're pushing this narrative as if that Rock and the rest of the Thomas family are more than likely going to be going to war with Unique, right? Which in a way they will, but it won't last, in my opinion. Now, this right here is an opinion. I'm not exactly sure on this, but I am positive Unique is not Breeze. That I can tell you. But like I said, I don't think the war between them is going to last too much long because I can see something transpiring that a peace treaty will be issued, and how they're going to end up settling and getting the peace. My opinion, I think it will be none other than Juke. I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Jukebox will be the key to settling a lot of these things, I believe. Now, I'm not saying she's going to be the savior of the universe. No, because I think many bodies will still fall, unfortunately. But one thing's for sure is that she's going to be the key to, you know what I'm saying, to Unique, the ending the war between Unique and the Thomas family. Now, how I can see this happening is, I believe, but real quick, let me go ahead and go to another image here, because as we know, in episode 9, Crystal Garcia told Crystal that Crystal was found, dead at some place. I can't exactly remember. Doesn't really matter. The point is, Crystal is dead, and Juke knows it. So more than likely, she is going to be the one to deliver the news to Kanan. Of course, Kanan is going to be very upset. And keep in mind, he just got through coming from Snaps and Pop, who told him that it was Rock who was behind the death of Famous. So automatically, he's going to assume Rock is the one who took out Crystal as well. Of course, he's not going to be thinking straight. Crystal, I think Juke is gonna try to reason with him and try to, talk with him, but he's not gonna be able to hear it. That's where you're gonna see him crash out and tell her, if you're not with me, you against me. But anyways, Kanan's gonna start making moves on his own, but that's gonna be another video. The point is that after seeing the situation that's going on, and I think Jukebox is going to be able to either he's going to directly tell her or she's going to be able to see it in his eyes that Kanan may very well go through with taking out his mother. So she's going to be very concerned and she's going to go get desperate, so desperate to the point that she's going to even go to the police to get help. So she's going to tell Garcia, if you want my help, I'm going to need you to help me out again. Right? So she's going to tell Garcia that it is that it was dirty cops who took out Famous, which is what he wants to hear because all he cares about is solving the case, right? So what he's gonna do is after she tells him she's gonna have him look into potential dirty cops. And now that she knows that, the sources that Kanan used came from Snaps and Pop, it's not going to be that hard for them to narrow down who the cops potentially are. And Garcia is going to find out who they are. So once he does, he's going to tell Juke. Juke is now going to have the actual truth in the matter. And she's going to later on that's when she's going to figure out that Snaps and Pop is going to be the one that's manipulating the entire situation. So, with that being said, after she finds that information, I could also see her possibly going to Unique to stop the war that's going on between them because they need some kind of ally. Because right now, the Thomas family is going to be up against Unique, Snaps and Pop, Stfano, and Jersey. So that's too much heat for them to deal with. But if they could possibly break some of that and make an alliance out of some of them, one of them, then that could help, benefit them. So getting Unique on their side could, stop Unique and possibly, and Jersey from being on the ass. So how can she win over Unique? Well, remember this.
I can't even believe it. Like, I don't even know what to say.
Not someone like it. Of course, you gotta keep this shit to yourself. To the grave, Juke.
No.
Truth is, I can't even believe this shit myself. Can't believe none of it.
So there you have it. You see her telling her, basically, that was Rock telling, telling Juke that she just had an abortion and the child was Unique's, right? So she's the only one that knows that information outside of Rock. So Juke can easily go up to Unique and be like, and tell him, hey, Rock wasn't the one responsible for, what happened to you. And she's going to be able to bring forward some proof. She's going to also show that she was pregnant by. And who knows, that might be enough to win him over. So, perhaps after that, Unique decides to go ahead and get on Kanan's side, and that way the mob, get on Rock's side because he noticed that he has been manipulated into believing something that wasn't true, right? And after that, we also know that Stefano is going to be working against them as well, because what I think is going to happen with Stefano is, now that Rock made it clear that she's going to choose Marvin over him, and I'm going to deep dive into that a little bit more in another video. But now that he knows that she's not going to flip on Marvin, he's going to make a move to go against. He's going to make a play to team up with Jersey, just like Marvin feared.
Sal's people take a piece of this business, Marvin. Hey, that shit would make him look weak as fuck in front of the other families. He'd be dead in a month.
How we know Stefano ain't gonna make a deal with Jersey and fuck us?
We don't.
So maybe we gotta make a move on Stefano.
So you hear that, they're going to be trying to make, and I think ultimately they're going to end up having to try to make that move. But like I said, that's just basically foreshadowing, letting you know that, Stefano is indeed going to team up with New Jersey, Russo's people, because it's going to be more beneficial to him. And that way he can avoid a war. All you got to do is just take them out. And keep in mind that also, since Snaps and Pop is now working with Kanan, all of them are together. So I think their plan is going to be to use Kanan to get the weight from Rock, and they move her aside. Because keep in mind, they're gonna get Kanan. Here's the key: they're gonna get Kanan to do what Marvin and Rock wouldn't do to each other. Because that's what Stefano has been trying to do, anyways. He's been trying to flip them, right? He couldn't flip Marvin, and he couldn't flip Rock. They're too old, and they've been in the game way too long to fall for BS like that. But Kanan, he's a young buck. He don't know better, and he already don't trust his mother. So he's going to be very vulnerable, and he's going to fall for the okie doke. So they're going to be able to finesse him into moving his mother out of the way, and ultimately taking over, getting the weight. That's the reason why the name of this this episode is "Give Me the Weight." But anyways, though, I know ugly ass niggas is still not convinced, probably, that this Unique is not Breeze. That's fine, ugly ass niggas, but I'm telling you, he ain't. And what's going to end up happening with them is, after Unique has been flipped by Juke, because he finds out the truth, Phil Russo is going to see that he's going to be starting traffic and potential war against New York, and he is indeed not going to be happy about that. He already told him more than once to stay put. He's not going to war with New York, right? Because that's a death sentence for him. But Unique is going to disobey, and now it could do what Neek does. And with that being said, that's when he's going to give Akbar the order to take out your boy Unique. So I could see Akbar indeed, like I said in the past, blindsiding Neek and taking him out. And who knows? Or maybe Stefano and them to avoid, because maybe Phil Russo didn't get the order, but Stefano and them just wanted. The Italians, they love to go over each other's heads all the time. So what could happen is they flip Akbar, tell him, if you take out Neek, we'll give you a piece of this business or something like that, or whatever they might offer. And then you bring him to me, and we throw him in the furnace. That way, we'll never find. Because keep in mind, this furnace has to be used for something. So maybe they throw Neek up in there, and we never find his body. Therefore, they never know who or what happened to him. Who's responsible or what happened to him. And also, lastly, before I get up out here, to prove furthermore, that Unique is not Breeze, people. If you haven't followed the interview I did with my boy Robert Dion, who is one of the actors that's on Raising Kanan, obviously he didn't give direct words because you know that he can't do that. But if you're able to read between the lines, you should know what he's talking about. I was going to say, will we be introduced to a brand new character? Like a shocking character that everybody has been anticipating. Because, folks anticipating Tommy, Ghost, of course, Breeze. So will we be seeing a new character that we be like, oh, there you go?
There'll be a new character.
There will be a new character.
That's literally all I can say. There'll be a new character.
So there you have it. He tells you there that there will be a new character, people. And keep in mind, I was kind of specific with my questioning. And I said, characters that has been anticipated. And the characters that has been anticipated are Ghost, Tommy, and Breeze. Not really anyone else that we are really looking forward to that's currently that should be coming up in this particular time range outside of those three people, Ghost, Tommy, and Breeze. So we know for sure, more than likely, it's not going to be Ghost or Tommy. More than likely, it's going to be Breeze. And he said new character. So unless y'all going to try to tell me, oh, they saying the new character is a transformation. No, it's not. It's a totally new person. It's not unique, people. I'm telling you. You have time to take this olive branch right now and come on over. You see, I came on over before it's too late. Come on over before it's too late. And you be looking like a fool, like I'm partially him, but I jumped off quick enough. It ain't him, people. Unique, more than likely, is going to get taken out. Now, who knows? He might survive. That really doesn't matter. The point is, he's not Breeze. But anyways, pretty much that's all I got for y'all as far as this particular video. You know what I'm saying? So, like usual, would definitely let me know what y'all think up in these comments. Let me know, are you convinced now that this is not Breeze? Or are you still on the fence? You still believe that it's indeed him? Let me know all of that and more. And also who you think if you don't think it is unique, who do you possibly think Breeze could be? Let me know all of that and more in the comments. But like usually, if you're cool and through with me, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, leave a like, comment. Let me know what you're thinking. But most importantly, make sure you share with your glad friends. But until the next video, I'm out.